What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA basketball show. Check out the entire show. Hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. Let's get right to work. 5 p.m. Eastern. The number 3 ranked Baylor Bears, 18-1, 10-1 in the Big 12. The jarring numbers there are the number 3 beside Baylor, not the 2 that we've seen all year, and the number in the loss column that we haven't seen all year. Number 6, West Virginia Mountaineers, 17-6, 10-4 in the Big 12. We're in Morgantown, West Virginia, and West Virginia University Coliseum. Baylor opening up at -4. That's a Bet365 opener. They've moved to 4.5 there, but not all the books have moved it to 4.5. There's still a lot of 4s out there. This total opening up at 149.5. A couple books have dropped that hook down to 149. Baylor coming off its first loss of the season, 71-58 at Kansas, is 4.5-point favorites. They only turned the ball over 3 times, but they shot 34.8% from the field, 23.1% from 3. And here was the jarring stat. I mean, if you think those numbers are bad, try 37.5% from the foul line. Senior starter Mark Vital went 2 for 8 from the stripe. Guards Maceo Teague and Davian Mitchell were the only ones to score in double digits, but they shot a combined 12 for 35. A rare, poor shooting night. They averaged 84.9 points per game. They hit 49.5% from the field, 42.1% from 3. They were also soundly beaten on the glass. They were out-rebounded 48-28. They have 4 wins against ranked opponents this season, and I'm very curious if Max sees a bounce-back spot for them. West Virginia's won 3 straight and 6 of 7. They're coming off an impressive 65-43 win at home over lowly Kansas State as 15.5-point favorites. They held Kansas State to 29.4% from the field, 15.8% from 3. Only 2 players scored in double digits. Sean McNeil, 16, 6 for 10. Derek Culver. Miles McBride leads the team in scoring, averaging 15.5 points per game. They score 77.1 points per game. They only turn the ball over 11.8 times a game. They shoot 43.1% from the field, 36.5% from the free throw line, and 69.9% from the stripe. They've gone 5-4 against ranked teams this year. This is a battle-tested group. Max, I can't wait to hear your breakdown. Baylor, West Virginia, 5 p.m. Eastern. Take it away.
Yeah, Jim, obviously with Baylor, this is a situational rebound spot, but the bottom line is in their 18 days that they were off, they forgot how to have good starts because they've gone down 10-plus points in both games. And I think that against Kansas, you weren't able to make that comeback due to the quality of defense that you were encountering on the other side. And against Iowa State, that's just a black mark on their season. Well, now that the undefeated streak is over, they got the 1 loss, probably have a little bit of less weight on their shoulders. And plain and simply, offense is a must for this team. You cannot have another game where you score 58 points, and that's 9 points lower than any other game that you played this year for your scoring output. And with Baylor, what they do well is create offense with their defense. Their turnover margin is 6.5. Their turnovers that they force are 18 a game. They get 9.5 steals, and they score a ton of 3-point transition buckets. If they can do that, then Baylor's going to be able to come back and win this game. At this number, though, I line this game at 3.5, and I line this total at 142.5. This is a spot where last year these two teams played in this at Morgantown. They went to 158. I do not think that we're going to see that type of scoring again. I think that this is definitely going to be a lower scoring game. And I think that it's going to really depend on what you get from Baylor's bench mob. With TT, Matthew Mayer, and Adam Flagler, you're going to get basically 25 points a game. And when this team is outscoring the other team's bench, that's when they're winning and crushing spreads. In games that, on average, their bench wins games by plus 16 points. And there's been 11 games where they've been able to score 33 or more points as a bench. And I think that's really important. Having depth to deal with your lack of credible size to go up against Culver and Gabe Osaboyan. Sorry, I butchered his name, but I just think that Baylor is better looking in the first half. I think that versus West Virginia, they have a first half advantage of around 4 points. They need more shots, and they need to just get more shots. They got to keep the freaking threes dropping. They got to get hit at least 10, and they got to keep West Virginia off the free throw line. That's why I like Baylor in the first half, because I do think that West Virginia will be able to get to the free throw line with more frequency, and that will lead to them tighten the score up in the second half. With Baylor, you got to keep the turnovers down. You keep them under 10. Then I think that you're going to cash the first half for us, and then you're probably going to have a little bit of harder time closing it out in the end, and I'd be looking at West Virginia full game. So, Jim, I want Baylor first half in the morning. I want West Virginia now at 4.5, please.
Wow, very, very interesting breakdown. And I thought maybe you were going to go to an under, or excuse me, an under as well, but 149.5. I can understand that's safe. Tight. I can get you the plus 4.5 at minus 110 at FanDuel. That 4.5 is at minus 115 at a few of the other books, but not at FanDuel. So let's get you that right now. Full game plus 4.5 at minus 110 at FanDuel. And then Baylor first half in the morning. Very, very exciting way to play this, Max. 5 p.m. Eastern. You're going to stay off the total.
I'm going to be betting the under just because I have such a large amount of value, but I'm not going to triple up on a game because, Jim, remember, every time I triple up, I regret it, and then I say, why didn't you stop me? So I'm going to stop myself.
All right. Makes sense. We are on the board. Double up spot for Max. Both sides being bet. Baylor first half in the morning. West Virginia Mountaineers full game plus 4.5 minus 110 at FanDuel.